Hey, it's Sam from Spun, and today I'm showing you how to make one of my favorite easy dinners, barbecue chicken meatballs. Love this recipe because it gets dinner on the table fast, it is very make-ahead friendly, the kids love it, and it is full of flavor. Super satisfying, but very little effort. Let's jump right into it. Get your oven preheating to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and grab yourself a mixing bowl. First thing we're going to put in here is our breadcrumbs. You'll need 3/4 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I am using sourdough breadcrumbs today, but of course I have tested this recipe plenty of times with the store-bought, that's fine too. We'll also add a 1/2 cup of grated parmesan cheese. Oh, it's so pretty and fluffy. And that's 40 grams. If you're measuring with weight, I'll try to remember to pop all of those up, but the full recipe with measurements, weights, and the detailed recipe are available in the description for you, so you can check that out and print it if you prefer to have it in front of you. All right, for our spices, we're going to start with 1½ teaspoons of dried parsley. Adds a little bit of nice color there. And then a 1/2 teaspoon each of onion powder and garlic powder. Which one was that? That was our onion. This is our garlic powder. Then a 1/2 teaspoon of table salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Bonus points if you freshly cracked this yourself, but we are trying to get dinner on the table quickly, so we're just going to use the pre-cracked stuff. All right, stir everything together, get these ingredients well combined before we add our meat. All right, next you need your meat. These are chicken meatballs, so we are using ground chicken. You'll need 2 pounds of it. We'll drop that in there ever so elegantly. We're also going to add 1 large egg, which is going to help bind our ingredients together. Oh, that was almost bad news. And we already did garlic powder, but we are going to up the garlic flavor anymore by pressing 3 cloves of garlic into the meatballs as well. I really like pressing because you get a stronger flavor than minced garlic, or we wouldn't use sliced garlic here, but also it's just easier. This is easier than mincing. You don't need to dirty a cutting board, none of that, and a more potent flavor. 1, and in case you can't tell, I did already peel these garlic cloves. That is an important first step to pressing. Number 2, we'll be eating these for dinner tonight, and I am so excited. Maybe I'll make some of my mashed potatoes to serve them over. These barbecue meatballs and mashed potatoes, or garlic mashed potatoes, oh, so good. I have both of those recipes over on the website, but I have not made a video of either of them yet. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Let me know if you like dinner recipes or if you just want to stick with cookies. I could go either way. Time to combine. I am going to be a little bit prissy here and I'm putting gloves on. Did not for my meatloaf, but I am going to do it here just to put a little bit of distance between myself and the raw meat. And anytime you are working with ground meat like this, burgers, meatballs, whatever, you want to handle it gently, because if you overwork it, they'll be tough. So I'm just going to get in there. And the goal is to combine everything well, evenly distribute the ingredients, but don't overdo it. I once saw somebody make these with a mixer and I cried. No, I didn't cry, but don't do that. I want that garlic well distributed, the cheese. You want all of that flavor in every meatball. No pockets of breadcrumbs or anything like that. You getting good footage of this, Nick? Very glamorous. Meatballs are a glamorous food. I feel like we're in pretty good shape here. These meatballs are going to first bake in the oven, so we're going to grab ourselves a baking sheet. I line it with parchment paper. That just makes cleanup easier. And let's scoop our meatballs. Cookie scoop, 1½ tablespoon cookie scoop is perfect for this because we're doing 1½ tablespoon size scoops. Just kind of press it against the side to sort of press it in there, pack it in there. And if you do this neatly enough, then you can get away without rolling the meatballs in your hands. Now, when I'm doing these for dinner, I don't usually roll them because I don't feel like it and they work fine. But if you're trying to make them look super pretty, okay, I'll get my hands dirty for you. You're just going to gently roll them into balls. But it's messy and it's not super necessary if you're using a cookie scoop. Yeah, it's prettier, but it's gonna taste the same. Now, these aren't cookies, so I don't know why I'm putting them on the baking sheet like they are. You wanna give them a little bit of breathing room, but we also want to fit all of the meatballs on the pan, so we only have to bake 1 pan, and you will be able to make that happen. Do a better job of spacing them. Let me get a weight on these for you. Getting about 28 grams per meatball. We're getting a little messy here. We'll come back and organize things before they go in the oven. Right now, it's just about portioning. Oh, it looks like you could use a little more. Let's do a little bit of restructuring. That way everybody fits. I know, my bare hands. We made it so far. I do want to make sure we fit these all in 1 pan because I like to assume that everyone is operating with just 1 oven. So we want all of these done at one time. We're gonna make that happen. I'm not putting them right on top of each other, but they're close. No touching, but close. Could be worse. Before they go in the oven, I like to do a light brushing of olive oil. I'm sorry, I'm using avocado oil, but olive oil would be totally fine. But a light brushing of oil over each meatball. Not too much, we don't want them greasy. One dip will cover quite a few. I was going a little crazy there in the beginning. You could spray them with oil if you have a spray oil that tastes good. It doesn't have a lot of stuff added to it. It'll be hard to find though. All right, these are going over to our oven now. I bake them in the center rack, 425 Fahrenheit oven. They usually only need to bake for about 10 to 12 minutes. If you want to temp them, I'm looking for an internal temperature of between 160 and 165 degrees Fahrenheit. You want them to be 165 when they're fully cooked, but they're going to spend some time in our barbecue sauce before you eat them. So if they're not completely at temperature, when you pull them out of the oven, just make sure they get to temperature when you pull them out of the sauce. So while the meatballs are cooking, we're going to warm up our barbecue sauce. If you want to do a homemade barbecue sauce, you can use my recipe that I shared on the blog. I'll link to it in the description. You can start making it while they're cooking, or maybe you have some already made in your fridge. So you will need 2 cups of sauce. I have some already made. I'm just going to put this in a large skillet, or what would you call this? A pan, a deep dish that will hold all of the meatballs and the sauce. And we're going to take this over to the stove top. Turn your stovetop heat to low, maybe a medium low, and just stir this occasionally so the sauce gets nice and warm. Then once your meatballs come out of the oven, we are going to carefully transfer them to this pan of our nice warm barbecue sauce. Stir everything together. Then I like to just cook it a couple minutes longer until the sauce is clinging to the meatballs and it's thickened just a little bit. Now, the sauce shouldn't be dry. If yours is getting too thick, just add a splash of water, it's no problem. All right. That is how you make barbecue chicken meatballs. I'm only going to take a couple on my plate right now because we're having these for dinner in my house. Maybe I'll make a nice big batch of mashed potatoes. I like to have extra barbecue sauce because you kind of use it like gravy over the potatoes. So good. Let me know if you enjoy this recipe, if you want to see more dinners. I just really like knowing what you think and what you want to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. All right, tasting time. Nikki, you ready for the close-up? Can you tell how juicy they are? They're juicy. So excited for dinner. Sorry guys, it's so boring right now. Yeah, I think I like inhaled the parmesan cheese or my powder or something, I don't know. I'm gonna need more gloves. How do I say?